Is that what he's hoping to do with these tournament winnings? I mean, he's in the money
That's
right
what
now.
I'm hoping for him to do. He keeps telling me, all right, man, you'll get a little bit of it this week. I'm working on it next week. Man, I just want my $90.
It's okay. You have one of the best players in our area on retainer now.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Chilling on winners finals. Actually, he said he's been looking for an actual reason to go Lucario matchup-wise the whole bracket, and now he has it. Up against Karna with his Sheik versus Lucario.
I think that this, especially post-nerf, can be such a terrifying matchup for Sheik. Again, Sheik, a character who's really good at filling up the bucket, getting the percentage on the board, not so hot anymore at actually tipping the bucket over and actually taking the stocks. But this is, again, what makes Karna such a remarkable player. He is so good at thinking outside of the box and coming up with very creative KO setups that revolve outside of the old go-to grab setups.
Oh yeah, Karna is the most creative Sheik player I've seen recently, especially at the local level. He's the best Sheik we have. Does a really, really good job of landing those KOs in the ways you never would have expected. His bouncing fish hit rate is insane. But so believe it or not, Gibus and Karna actually have not played since the Sheik nerf. So Gibus has been itching to get his opportunity to have this Lucario Sheik matchup.
And Gibus himself was very competent. One of the strongest players, in fact, in the Sheik matchup back in the day, taking multiple sets off of players like Denty whenever he played Sheik. He knows what to do, and that's exactly it. A well-spaced back air to take the first stock. And if Karna doesn't stop the bleeding now, this could just be the beginning of a world of trouble.
Low percent combos with Lucario with Rage are insane. We see he gets a throw, gets up here. That's 26% off of a grab.
He pushed 2 buttons.
Ooh, but he landed the Nair bouncing fish. Just caught Gibus ending that Aura Sphere charge.
And it's that sort of reaction time that Karna is really known about. That deep understanding of when to pull the trigger.
Right now he's trying to put some damage on Lucario to make this a bit of an even game, but the way I feel about it, Lucario doesn't really become a viable character until he hits 50%, and then he starts to get kind of scary.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at the end of the day, like at the very beginning of stocks for Lucario, you're a character who has one of the worst neutral games in the cast. You don't really hit very hard at all, but of course, with every single blow that you take, as the aura and the rage build together, it all leads up to those little moments where you make the most of them and you take brutal stocks.
Really smart Nair out of shield right there for Karna. He wanted to hit that Aura Sphere charge and trade with it at worst case scenario so that he did not end up in a gross setup that would have landed an up smash or an up smash for him to die. Instead, he's the one taking the stocks.
And despite Lucario approaching those triple digits being a terrifying, terrifying spot to be in for most Sheik mates, Karna looked at that last match like it was cake.
Oh yeah.
He held composure the entire time, even with the early back air connection. And he just knew, you know what? In this situation, I know what my win condition is. I know what I have to do to take this first stock, and I know what I have to do to take this next one.
I feel like there's so many levels to this matchup beyond just the player, the character versus the character. That was insane. I'm sorry, he just walked up and countered the grenade. But there's so many levels to it. There's just the character versus the character, frame data versus frame data. You got the kill power versus lack of. You got the fact that Lucario gains power as Sheik has trouble landing hits in the matchup. And then there's also just the mental aspect of it. The fact that you know you're going to struggle while your opponent's getting stronger. It's really, really difficult to maintain composure as Sheik against Lucario. But Karna has some of the best mental, fortitude in this game.
Yeah, without a doubt. That comes from such a long history and background playing multiple competitive games. Whether it's Magic the Gathering or StarCraft, this man, he knows what it takes, especially whenever it comes to playing to win.
Man, it's not just the buttons, it's the brain too. You can't press buttons harder in Magic the Gathering. And you can't win without good APM in StarCraft either. He's got it all. He's the whole package right now.
And right now is the moment where I want to see him showcase just how much he brings to the table. Gibus goes for the wall jump back air. It's a go-to option that Karna has seen before. And right there, just stuffing out any attempt back onto the stage with the nair. Down tilt, I thought we were maybe seeing a bouncing fish after that.
It looked like Gibus was DIing away. So the bouncing fish was a possibility. Not guaranteed, but certainly a mix-up. And there, he got so tricky, running off the platform and B-reversing to land right under it, catching Karna in that Aura Sphere and ensnaring him in that setup to seal the stock.
We spoke about creative KO setups, and that's something that both of these players certainly pack. And Gibus at near max rage.
There he caught him with the tipper hitbox of the down tilt, pulling the opponent straight up and confirming, especially with no rage on Sheik, into that up air.
And once again, we're seeing Karna, despite losing the initial stock, able to close the stock out without much hesitation, without taking too much damage himself. And now back in the lead, back in a position where he's comfortable, but it's the magic number 50, and we're going to be seeing Gibus starting the offensive as well.
Calling the air dodge that Karna has been going for so often after these up throw setups that Gibus has, finally waiting it out and landing that back air.
This is a punish opportunity for Karna.
Just getting the opponent off stage, and that's so good for Karna, more than most players you would believe, because he has just exceptional corner pressure.
Yeah, and a lot of that, again, comes to his reaction time, something that he's built up playing games like StarCraft. The fact that he's able to have such superb ledge trapping, you think it's reads half the time, but really he's just taking away all of your options and reacting to whatever few options you do, but can't react to that. Another surprise, courtesy of the bush. And Gibus ties the series up.
And the entire reason that he even got that opportunity is because that was the one time Karna actually went a little bit too deep in his edge guard. He stopped reacting and decided, I'm going to catch you with this bouncing fish, put himself on stage, gave Gibus the in. And then once Gibus had stage control, he was able to force Karna out, scare him with that Aura Sphere. Sometimes you have to go for those kinds of plays. You have to say, all right, I've been reacting this whole time. My opponent is now scared. I want to capitalize on this opportunity. But sometimes you just have to stick to the game plan that's been working.
And I'll tell you what, the tricky moments with the bush, they definitely worked out for Gibus, but now such a flat stage. Omega Battlefield, not a stage that we really see all that often. Neighbor, you play both of these characters.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Sheik, what's the reason behind this particular stage?
You really like the idea of the long stage that gives you a lot of room, because Lucario struggles against two things, I think. Disjoints and just quick moves. Because his moves, even though they might be fast enough to deal with disjoints, they get beat out clean. Or his moves are too slow to get through the quick moves of Sheik. So his way to get around that is the Aura Sphere. When you have a long stage like this as Sheik, you can just run away, let your opponent charge Aura Sphere. It doesn't matter because your needles are better.
Right, and because he doesn't have any platforms, he doesn't really have a safe ground to escape the needles either. The needles cover so much of the stage. And speaking of coverage, again, these ledge traps. This is where Karna makes his mileage.
And beyond that, I'm not sure if this is something Karna's going for intentionally, but Lucario's up special is actually really strange. When you go up and against a wall, you don't ride up it like you would if you were Fox. If you hit the wall, you actually just bonk and might die.
Look at Karna's adaptation to Gibus on the ledge. We've seen him drop ledge and come up with an aerial so many times. Karna was ready for that particular option and has a beautiful punish.
Oh, and unable to get the punish on that grenade. Actually, a big missed opportunity here. Giving Karna more chances to just push Gibus to the ledge. And realistically, that ledge actually is terrifying to me just staring at it as somebody who's been trying to recover with Lucario all day. Ooh, but landing, mixing up his recovery with that Aura Sphere, able to end that stock.
Exactly, Aura Sphere charge, cancel up smash. It's
so potent.
It feels good to say, and it feels good to look at.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it does not feel good to be on the receiving end.
Oh, no. So many Salt compilations of just that move.
And we might see some. I mean, this game, it feels almost even, but Karna!
Wow. One more, and that's it.
I can't believe he didn't get the stock. Oh, doesn't even wait for the air dodge that time. Gets the up air, and that's going to be game. Karna advancing on to grand finals after taking that set.
You know, one thing that I was actually going to point out about Gibus asked me, is that a 50-50? One thing that I've learned, I thought there was no 50-50s with that up throw. I learned just from following like Void on Twitter. He says the up throw is actually guaranteed, and Mr. R as well, it's a guaranteed 50-50 setup on a number of characters. I think usually the heavier set ones end up being the ones that fall victim to it. So I would not be surprised if that was legitimately 50-50 situation.
This weekend, he had to play against Cosmos.